rocking around Christmas tree. All right, I'm gonna call Johan. Hey, knock knock.
Who's there?
Ken,
Ken who?
can we get this gear show started already? Hey, Vital MTBers, we have some handlebar testing for you this week. Johan went all DIY in the name of science or boredom, we're not really sure, but he tested 8 different mountain bike handlebars. But before we get to that, you ever been so pumped to ride a bike that you totally neglect your cable management? I was so stoked to get on this Norco Optic that I went on 3 different rides. I noticed that the cables were out of whack. This dropper post cable was crazy. I noticed in the middle of the ride, was so stoked when I got home I forgot to do anything about it. Went on a ride again, filmed it.
They're terrifying even if they're dry.
Put it on Instagram, only to realize how whack the cables were, and Bryn Atkinson called me out, saying that the cable management was basically unrideable. It was hilarious. I've known Bryn for a long time. It was pretty good. But now, thanks to the fine folks at Trust Performance, you may know them from certain products like the Message. Their Jobber Kit has my cockpit so tidied up that now I can call out, I can finally say it, I've been wanting to for years, that Bryn Atkinson looks just like Ryan Reynolds, right? I can say that now, and he can't call me out on Instagram for whack cable style. What do you think? Does he look like Ryan Reynolds? Hit the vote button. Nice work, Kintner. Way to go. Well, Ryan Reynolds in the old house, huh? There are all kinds of little fernerners, nobules, organizers, clips, claps, clanks. Keep your cables running smooth, your bike looking tidy. The Trust Jobber Kit for those nerds out there. Or the people that just totally forget. Coolest product ever alert? Sprindex is an adjustable coil spring. On-the-fly adjustments can be made in 5-pound increments. Fewer active coils means a stiffer spring. By twisting the Sprindex adjustment dial, you vary the number of active coils. $140 opens up the coil shock game for riders who couldn't find that perfect spring weight. It cannot be used on other shock springs. You may also notice that I'm a little more bundled up in here. It's 30 degrees in the garage today. Winter's here finally. This Fox Attack Pro Fire Jacket and the Fox Attack water pants, I rode in them all last winter, temperatures down to the 20s. With a base layer, the jacket, the pants, was good to go. But striptease, bam. You need to stay warm and toasty this winter to get some time on the trails when you might not normally hit up Fox Racing, because they've got the toasty warm weather riding goods. All right, so in our first show, Timu K left a comment on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna read it right now. It says, why do US channels feel the need to do crazy graphics, funny inserts every couple minutes, and hurry up through different products? Take it easy, talk it out. New to the channel and liking the stuff, but just an idea. You know, Timu, that's a great question. And we vowed to slow things down, avoid those interrupting, annoying, flashing.
It's time for Let's Weigh Some Stuff!
Whew. Sorry, Timu, YouTube must have put that in. That was not our idea at all. What do you think about these 7IDP transition knee pads? They're part of the Vital Gear Club a couple weeks ago. Did you get some? In bike company news, Canfield Brothers announced that they're coming back as Canfield Bikes. The brothers sorted out their differences, whatever those may be. Canfield Bikes is back with new models coming in 2020. The new Canfield bikes will use the CBF suspension platform, which can also be found on Renthal bikes. And Worldwide Cyclery did a really cool video with Chris Canfield, one of the brothers, and Jeremiah Starkey of Renthal Bikes discussing the CBF platform. Good luck, Canfield. Long live the big fat, fatty fat, the mushroom drop at Bartlett's. Wish you the best. Hard to believe you and I filmed this 17 years ago in Moab. Literally, we called it Cranksgiving 2002. Nuts. So Virginia Tech has put together their own independent helmet test. They designed a test to determine what they're calling a star rating for mountain bike helmets. They did it for football, some snow stuff, but also mountain bikes. That's what we care about here. They considered 12 different impact configurations. Each helmet went through those 12 hits 2 times, so they got a total of 24 hits, and Virginia Tech came up with a ranking of their best to worst helmets. You can go deep in their brief to see the science and the physics in their test results, or you can check out the list to see which helmet came out on top. In e-bike news, are you still there? Scott announced their 2020 e-ride line with the highlight of an integrated dual battery setup. E-bikes like the Genius e-ride 900 series use Scott's range booster technology to add an additional 500 watt-hour battery life. And that brings the total, if you run both batteries, to 1,125 watt-hours. Time to get lost. Speaking of Scott bikes, did you see Danger Holmes's super uber nerded out to the max Scott Genius? It's got like electronic knuckle, just blip, 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 knuckle shifters on it. Crazy. Speaking of nerds, Vital's bike check section has almost 12,000 member bikes added to it. The ultimate in nerdery. Check out this Zero that just uploaded the other day. Finally, what you've been waiting for, Johan tested 8 different mountain bike handlebars. He's going to give us his feedback, his report. How cool would it have been if he could have figured out how to test real, actual bar flex?
Yo, hey, hello, over here. I have a way. I have the Super Science 3000 bar flexometer. Hey, oh, hi there. So you want to know about bar flex? Well, with all the talk of 35mm cockpits being too stiff and brands tripping over each other with comfort and compliance claims, we wanted to put some numbers to the debate to help us figure out what's what. So to go beyond our riding impressions, we put together a homemade testing rig that would allow us to measure how much each bar would actually flex under a given weight. On the topic of weights, we used bits and pieces of a home gym setup to build our test bed, which may look a bit rough around the edges, but which does provide a consistent way of actually measuring how much a bar bends or flexes under load. The machine basically locks the handlebar in on one side, allowing us to then load it up on the other side with a weight. To keep things consistent, we always placed the weight at exactly the same spot on each bar, and the bars were all cut to 780mm length as well. Putting our new machine to work, we threw 6 35mm carbon handlebars into the fray, together with 1 aluminum bar and a 31.8mm carbon bar for reference. What did we find? A pretty large spread in how the different bars reacted under load. Oneup components joined the handlebar party pretty late, and when they did, they tried to come up with something different. Their handlebar features an oval cross-section where the bar tapers down, which the company claims adds vertical compliance while maintaining a direct response to horizontal input. Well, our testing confirms their claims, with Oneup's bar having the highest flex score in our test. In close second, ENVE's M7 and Raceface's 6C bars. The popular Renthal Fat bar is notably stiffer, sharing a spot with the new T1 bar from Tag Metals, while Deity's new Skywire bar was the stiffest of those we tested here. What about our 35mm aluminum bar? Well, it landed in the middle of the range together with the 31.8mm carbon bar that we also tested for reference. So on the trail, how do these numbers translate? Well, the Oneup bar certainly provides a very compliant ride, as does ENVE's M7 bar, particularly when it's paired with the company's carbon stem. We're not talking night and day differences here, but the bars that flexed less in our test also felt a bit stiffer out on the trail. Our testing also showed that, contrary to popular belief, 35mm carbon bars do not have to be stiffer than 35mm aluminum bars or narrower 31.8mm carbon bars. We're also going to be bringing you a more in-depth look at the new Oneup carbon cockpit, including the nifty EDC tool, in an upcoming gear show, so stay tuned for that to learn more.
That's pretty freaking cool. Wonder what happens if we put that bar down on his neck. On his ponytail. What do you want to see on the Vital Gear Show? Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, all that jazz, whatever. Get out and ride your bikes. If it's cold, get some cold riding gear. Ride in the snow. It's good. Get out there. Hopefully you're not in the snow. You can make it shred all winter. It's like Beat Street or Breakin'. Do you remember that? Are you old enough to remember that? I hope so. Whew. Sorry, Timu. YouTube must have put that in. That was not our idea at all.